Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here up at the coal mine. Just got done roughing in the track over to the ironworks. So gonna take it for the first run. Definitely do have to stress it's just a rough in. So this is kind of just by way of finding the line, and then it'll get refined down into some probably much more realistic usable run. But this is just kind of the preliminary rough in and how I do it, so I figured I'd turn around and actually go ahead and just film it. This is complete first run stuff, unknown, especially with the new map and stuff, how the terrain was going to go. Got a few decent views in this one, definitely have some sky bridges and some stuff that's got to get worked out, so we'll just have to see how it all looks. Oh, one thing I do have to do was talking through this, so gotta get this up so y'all can hear the locomotives, or it's gonna be a quiet, awkward run. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and throw one more scoop in the old firebox there. That should give us plenty to get going. There we go, compressors up. Blah blah, everything else is good. Drop the brakes. And most of this one did turn around 3% or under on this top part of the grade. I'm not exactly sure how this one's going to run in this. It depends on kind of what the final grade actually shows out to. Because this is going to get, like I said, this is going to get lowered. The groundwork will get changed, everything else. It's a preliminary lay, so I just tend to put it all in metal bridge. Makes it easier to get around elevation changes or anything else you have to do. So on the rough ends, I tend to always just lay it with the metal bridge work, and then I'll just come back and replace this with, you know, different varying groundworks depending on the situation and the height we end up with. Some of this can go down, some of it's going to go up. Not too sure yet. Like I said, literally just finished it, brought the train up here to get going, and figured, you know, what the heck. So this is just a total test of the line. A lot of this in here is gonna stay, but this would probably get dropped down a little bit. No reason to have it up at all. It could probably be down on groundwork, unless I end up starting to hug these hills here to gain a little more elevation on the way. That is a possibility as well. Definitely some alternatives in here to run this route in many different ways. Alright, make sure we got the trees out of the way. Did have to sacrifice a few more trees in this run. A lot of this actually came out to be kind of cool track in the beginning, and then part of it just kind of went janky because I had to work across, but I also didn't want to spend, you know, an extra 5 hours a day to be real working out the line and dropping it down, so that'll come here with some time. Just really wanted to get the rough in and get that next industry connected. Kind of what this one is. Happy with the rail all the way through here. I could see keeping it. And then kind of after here is where we start getting into a lot of things that have to change. There's some cool stuff here. We can see down to the depot here. I think it's the smelter you can see off in the distance up here as well. Nice little rock hugger there. That's kind of cool. I like that. But then we get up to the absolute extent of bridge work and stuff in here, and that's a little more than I really kind of want. So we'll just have to see. It's up here, really up here. Not the biggest fan of the Super Sky Bridge, and this has gotten pretty Super Sky Bridge. Yeah, so here we go. We got the freight depot down here. And then we have the smelter off over here. Alright. It is kind of neat getting a look down at the far off industries. Kind of like that. Didn't have a heck of a lot of that on the old runs on the old save file, so that's kind of cool. And a thing. Definitely get a good look at the terrain from here and seeing what we can do. This part I definitely am not the hugest fan of. Just a gigantic sky bridge. As I said, it was about ease of getting it in. I think we will be bringing the rail along this cliff more and at least shrinking the sky bridge down, as this is absolutely huge. By far the biggest sky bridge. Really probably should have put the industry on this ledge or something down here instead of way up on the moon. Or on this ledge over here would have been a good option too. Putting it up here, we did get just a little more track thrown in there, but I think this will change. I'm going to probably bring it around and maybe even bring it across the valley back here and wrap it around, something like that. It's going to get lengthened and brought down for sure. This won't be a permanent fixture. It's just the rough end and gets it there. The industry didn't do a heck of a lot with that either yet. Do have a look at the John RailRoads in Rushmore, or whatever you want to call it, out there in the distance. But we do have a look at the Mount Rushmore of the game. A little bit more of an ask on this final grade. But up the hill, now we're going to get into some crazy twisty turny. And like I said, all of this is completely subject to change and just got done on the rough to get it in. There's some of the big trees in the game. You know, we have plenty of open space up here, and a lot of this is going to change. So don't go too crazy with that. But as I said, there's the Mount Rushmore up in the middle of the screen. So that's kind of cool. Little look back. I mean, the only cool part is that you get a cool look back at the sky bridge, but that sky bridge is not. I don't think that's sticking around too long. So we'll definitely be altering some things around here for sure. As I say, this is just a rough end to get it here. I tend to like to just rough in the tracks and then just make improvements from there when I'm going to a completely unknown line. You just tend to see things that you can improve upon so much more as you just kind of get it there in the first place. Trying to make it perfect the first time is generally not how I go about laying rail. So alright, we'll have to bring this around the corner. Nice and slow. Everything obnoxiously tight in here. Again, not the best, but functioning rail nonetheless. It definitely got it up here. One Ruby Basin. Definitely could have pulled more. So that's a thing too. Didn't go too crazy with the grade, so it should only get better from here. Shouldn't have to get worse, that's for sure. I don't know if I can get paid from this last one or not. This stuff pays kind of too much to just be flinging it on the dock. So let's see. Yeah, okay. We're going to get paid. That's cool. We did turn around and pick up the one extra hopper car, so now we have 5. We only had the 4 before when we were moving iron around, so now having the 5th one will be at least, you know, $1,000 loads with iron and stuff like that, so it's gonna pay off fast enough. Was worth picking it up, and I figured it could definitely handle it. At least that lets us move a little more. So get those unloaded and see where we're at. cash wise, we were pretty much broke. So almost $1,000 even running coal. Can handle that. And yeah, I guess we'll kind of just take in a look at where the industry is, being this is the first time up here. I do like where this industry sits because you get some cool looks up here. I mean, you get a look over at the green hills outside the map. You got Mount Rushmore off in the distance, the oil field off down there in the distance, and a heck of a good drop off over this way. The idea was that we would be able to see, you know, maybe some of the industries and stuff like that. So few options up here. A little painful getting up to this height as it is one of the higher portions of the map. I don't think there's a heck of a lot that's too higher. I don't know about up in the upper right hand corner, but this is one of the higher points on the map. So given a little bit of a challenge getting it up here, that's for sure. But I think with that, we'll call it a win and say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscription's free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.